Hey man, how are you doing, bro? I'm back in the place where I used to record videos a while back, where I used to like constantly walk up this dam and it was like windy all the time. It's some older videos that I used to have. I'm here now. I've been sitting for like 15 minutes in silence and just thinking about stuff. Man, you know, in I think 2 weeks or something like that, I will have 3 years of self improvement. 3 years of no video games, 2 years of no sugar, 3 years of no more porn, no more pornography, no more masturbation, no more of that. 3 years of just chasing discomfort, like just putting myself in all kinds of uncomfortable situations that I don't like and seeing what comes out of it, seeing what comes out of that, what growth or what kind of result it would have in the end. It's been a while, man. It's been 3 years in which things have not been great all the time. Yeah, I've had ups, definitely. I've had times when I felt like things are so much better and so much more amazing and meaningful. And to some extent, that is true. But there were times where I felt like none of this made sense. And I was like, why am I even doing this, man? You know, everybody's out there not giving a shit about what they're doing, just living moment to moment, pleasure to pleasure, and I'm here like thinking about all these great plans, and sometimes it really felt like I was just bullshitting myself, and perhaps a lot of people will watch this and be like, "Yeah, you did, you bullshitted yourself," but surprisingly, I don't think so. Surprisingly, although I haven't managed to like achieve 100% of the things that I set out to achieve, I learned things along the way, and I've managed to achieve, I think, the most important parts, which were emotional, physical, mental growth, which were, I started prioritizing my health. I started prioritizing my mental health. I started seeing the world through a different perspective, realizing that I'm not alone in all of this, and, that there's people around me, and that part of improving yourself and part of, you know, feeling better with your own self and feeling alive, part of that comes from other people. Part of that comes from relationships with other people. Some might say that this is the most important part of life. If you don't have people to share your world with, then what the fuck are you doing? And honestly, yeah, honestly, everything that we do, let's be honest, everything that we're doing here, we're doing it for other people. We're doing it so that we can help somebody, that we can be appealing to somebody, and that in turn plays with our physical and mental health so much. It really does. We as human beings, we're all about people, and that's just a fact. If you don't have people around you, you're a dead man. You're not gonna last. And that's why people, who just isolate themselves in a social manner, they don't last long. They end up going crazy. They end up killing themselves. They end up like just losing touch with reality. And they don't last long, you know. I went down that path. I went down the path of social isolation. I felt like nothing in my life made sense. I was younger, I'm like 18 now. I was, what, 13, 14, and I was just a young kid. I was a young boy, and at that time, it just felt like nothing made sense, I felt like the world didn't understand me, and I didn't understand it, and, there was no way around it. There was no going around it. There was no making peace. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know who I wanted to be. And that took a big toll on me. That took a big toll on my everyday life. I stopped trying. I stopped even just even bothering at all with anything. I used to be such a bitch to my parents, to my family, and sometimes I still do it, and sometimes it fucking pisses me off, man. But it's gotten a lot better. It has improved a lot since 3, 4 years ago. It definitely has. Don't be don't be ashamed of who you are. You know, don't be ashamed of who you were. More or less, that's a lesson to take away from everything, from what I've gone through. It's just don't be ashamed that I was a fucking loser who would spend hours and hours every single day just isolating myself from the world and making myself feel like shit. I was the loser that didn't have any friends, that would cry every night because he knew that he didn't have any friends and he knew that he was not making any fucking effort to make friends. And I was just pathetic, man. Just fucking pathetic. But I used to be ashamed of that, but I'm not anymore. Sadly, I don't speak about this as much as I would like with other people in real life. You know, I've taken a liberty to do this here on the internet because most people that see this, you know, they're not people that I'm gonna see in real life, and the few people that watch this and I know in real life, they don't really talk about it to me because they're like, I don't know, they might think it's like awkward or embarrassing or something, and they don't bring it up that much. But you know, with people in real life, I don't talk about this as much as I would like to. I don't mention the fact that I was a fucking complete loser and that you know where that I was born in the United States, I would have probably ended up becoming like a school shooter or something. I would have ended up killing a bunch of kids. You know, I had everything. I was there. I was mad at the world. I was mad at myself. I didn't have anything to do, or like I would have either become a school shooter or I would have just shot myself and killed myself or something. Eventually, you know, I've always been afraid of death, and I wouldn't have imagined myself killing myself, you know. But you know, definitely if it would have gotten worse. I would have probably come to that, but it didn't. Luckily, it didn't. You know, I didn't suffer from anything like how would you call it, like diagnosed. You know, like psychologically diagnosed stuff. You know, I didn't go to a psychiatrist, anyone, and get it like diagnosed or anything. But you know, I went through some episodes in my life that were shitty, and I'm sure that if I wouldn't have found something to cling on to hold on to, I either wouldn't be here today or I would be a completely different person, somebody that I would not be proud of the way that I am proud of myself right now. Just know that whatever happens, it's going to be all right in the end. You know, if you keep pushing forward and you don't let yourself be caught on to every single little thing that you did or that you keep doing, and you just give yourself some grace. You know, you give yourself some time to move, some place to move and to have like a freedom of movement. I don't even know how to explain that. You know, like mental movement. You know, mental strategic moving around. That sounds stupid, but give yourself time to just think about shit. Give yourself time to just take in things and let yourself think about old memories sometimes, you know, when the time needs it, and just think about who you were, think about who you are. Give yourself a chance to analyze yourself and to understand yourself better. And Honestly, man, if you're watching videos like these, it means that you're already on the path. More or less, you're on the path. It just now it all comes down to how willing are you to be on this path, and what are you going to put in, you know, in terms of effort, in terms of sacrifice, in order to move down this path in a successful manner, you know. Whenever idea, I don't like talking about success anymore. I don't like the word success anymore. Just I don't like it because most people associate it with financial success, with status and everything. And like, oh, you know, if you want to be successful in life, then you need all of this. Man, there are so many people out there whose definition of success is literally 180 degrees from what any of us would think, you know. Some people's definition of success is just getting out of bed in the morning and being able to look at a beautiful view and just take it in and not have thoughts about bitch. I'm hearing a lot of stuff, right? Hold on. Oh boy. Hopefully there's no bear here. Who knows? Yeah, man. Life is weird. Life is weird, and success is really, really relative. I'm not gonna tell you to chase anything. You know, I was told by other people, you know, you need this, you need that. You know, if you want to have a lot of money, you need this, bro. What if I don't want a lot of money? What if I wanna do something with my life that just brings me peace, man. My definition of success is just peace of mind. I think that's it. I think it's just peace of mind. Because when you have peace of mind, it means that things are going well enough in your life that you can just take a step back and just enjoy the ride, more or less, you know. I have not achieved it. I've not achieved peace of mind because it is not easy to achieve. You know, honestly, yeah, it means that you have to square yourself away up to the point where you feel like, you know what, things are going pretty damn well right now. I can, my mind, my overthinking brain can just take a break from all of this, you know, because it's going well. Just enjoy the ride. I've not gotten to that point. There's still so many things that I need to do. There's still so many people that I need to meet, so many people that I need to love in order for me to feel like I've done enough. There's so many paths in my life that I need to pursue yet in order to feel like I've done enough. Some paths are questionable, some paths are weird, some paths people might not agree with. But God knows you don't have to do things so that other people can agree with you. That's just stupid. Don't live your life that way. That's just a different, that's like a recipe for destruction. That's a recipe for being a wuss, a bitch, a pussy. Just do things just because you want to, you know, just because you feel like that is the right way to do it, you know. And I don't mean it like in a first glance emotional manner. You feel like killing somebody because I don't know they said something and you just kill them and you're like, oh, I did the right thing. I did what I felt like. No, not that. I mean, you know what truly comes from within you, like those things that you just know. You know, when you see them, when you go through that, you just know. It's weird, but it's never gonna be like you're never going to know 100% because we still have overthinking minds. We still have like this rational part of our brain that's like, yeah, but at the same time, you know, there's this and this and this and this that could go wrong, and this could place you in this spot, which is not really great. And you don't want to end up there and everything, yada yada yada. And that it's always going to be maybe like 60-50%. You know, 60% you're like 60-40. Sorry, 60% I'm sure about it, I feel it within me, and 40% it's like your rational brain telling you no, that's a stupid idea. Sometimes it's more, and the more it is, the luckier you are, because it just means that there's less like logical reasons not to do it, and there's more of you that's actually invested into it. But it's never going to be 100%. You're never going to feel 100% about anything, and if you wait for that one thing to just be 100%, you're never going to do anything with your life. You're going to end up just waiting your life away, never getting anywhere. That's the way I feel about the military. It's like, it's maybe what, 60-40, maybe 70-30. 60% I feel it within me, it's like what I would desire to do. 40% it's like, yeah, but you could die. Yeah, but you could like end up doing things that are very questionable in a moral manner, in an ethical manner, that you wouldn't want to do. For sure. That's like 40%. Sometimes it's like 70%, 30% less, and those are good days, but you're never 100% sure about anything. You just have to try shit out, and you have to see where it takes you. It's easy to say it because it means that it's easy to just say it and be like, yeah, you just try stuff out. But no, it's going to imply that you're going to go through a lot of shit. You're going to go through a lot of emotional baggage from stuff that's not going to work out, and there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's not going to work out. Sadly. But you only need to find one thing that really resonates with you. Like one thing. You only need to win once. Gambler motivation 101. Keep going, bro. You only need to win once. But that's pretty much it. You only need to find this one thing that matters to you, and that's life. That's life for you. Yeah, man. Just some thoughts that I had. I'm not gonna make this video any longer than it has to be. I'm glad to be here and still make videos. Although it's been, I'm not doing them as often as I used to, but it's just because I've realized that I would rather not make videos about random shit that perhaps might not mean that much to me, all the time. And I'd rather just make a video like this, 20 minutes long, in which I can just talk about stuff that's, that's honestly 100% on my mind. Stuff that is meaningful, that is honest, And if one person can watch this video and be like, you know what, I like what you're saying, bro, perhaps I'll put this in and I'll see what happens. But you know what, bro, I'm fine with that. I'm happy with that. If I can help one person in this world, fuck it. That's enough for me, man. So, that one person out there, whoever you might be, stay sharp. And don't let yourself be brought down by anything. Life does that to you, but I guess we just have to get back up, right? Things are never going to be certain, but just have a little bit of faith. Even when you feel like you shouldn't have faith, even when you feel like everything's going to shit, just have a little bit of faith. Just a little bit. I've taken the risk of hoping, of having a little bit of faith recently, and it's taken me down a good road. I've met a really nice girl that I really, really enjoy being around. And this came after, breaking up with another girl and another one before that and everything. But I'm here. I've taken that risk, and it's not 100% certain, sadly. But still, life is life. That's so stupid, man. Life is life. I'm gonna stop now. Bro. I'm wasting your time. Have a nice day, dude. Peace. See ya, man.